Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is the third episode of our AWS ECR tutorial series. If you've been following along, you already know we're building up step by step so that by the end of this series, you'll be confident in using ECR in real-world projects. In our previous video, we took a deep dive into the Docker image lifecycle within Amazon ECR. We walked through how a Docker image is created locally, pushed to an ECR repository, and then managed as it moves through different stages of its lifecycle. That hands-on session gave us a solid foundation for working with container images in the cloud. If you haven't seen that episode yet, the link is in the description below. I highly recommend checking it out before continuing with this one, because it sets the stage for everything we'll be building on today. Now, in this video, we're going to take things one step further by learning how to integrate Amazon ECR with ECS. We'll be working with the same Node.js monolith application that we used in the previous episode. First, we'll push the application image to our ECR repository, just like we did before. But this time, we'll take that image and deploy it to ECS. To make that happen, we'll create an ECS task definition that points to our Docker image, and then we'll run it inside an ECS service. By the end of this session, you'll see how our containerized Node.js application can run seamlessly inside AWS's fully managed container orchestration environment. Alright, that's all for the introduction to this video. Let's jump right into the hands-on session. Just like in the previous episode, we'll be working with the same GitHub repository and the same branch, which is called ecr-basics. All the commands that I'll be using throughout this demo are already available in that repository, so you don't have to worry about missing anything. The first step is to create a new ECR repository. Since we already covered these basic steps in the last video, I won't go into too much detail this time. Let's start by running the AWS CLI command to create our new repository. Once the command executes successfully, the repository will be ready to use. The next step is to authenticate with the ECR registry, so that our local Docker setup can push images securely. Finally, to make sure everything worked as expected, we can run a command to list all repositories in our account. This will confirm that our new repository was created successfully and is ready for the next steps. In our last video, we used the basic Docker build command to build our Docker image. But here's the thing, that image won't always work in ECS. Most of the time, when a Docker image runs perfectly on your local machine but fails in ECS, the culprit is an architecture mismatch. Let's break this down a bit. On your local machine, especially if you're using an M1 or M2 Mac, Docker builds images for Linux ARM64 by default. But ECS, whether it's on EC2 or Fargate, usually expects images built for Linux AMD64, which is the standard x86 CPU architecture. So, what happens when you push a local ARM64 image to ECR and ECS tries to run it on AMD64 hardware? It simply can't execute, and the container crashes instantly. This is a very common issue for developers working on Apple Silicon Macs. This is where Docker Buildx comes in. Buildx allows you to cross-compile your Docker image for a different architecture. By using Buildx, you can build your image for AMD64, which ensures that ECS receives a container it can actually run without crashing. We'll run the Docker Buildx create command. This command sets up a new Buildx builder instance, which is capable of building images for multiple architectures. Essentially, it prepares Docker to handle cross-platform builds. Next, we'll use Docker Buildx inspect. This command allows us to check the current Buildx builder configuration. You'll be able to see which platforms it supports and verify that it's ready to build images for ECS's expected architecture. After that, we can list Docker images locally. When you do this, you'll notice a new build kit image has been pulled automatically. This is the build kit backend that Docker uses to perform advanced builds, including cross-platform compilation. Since I already have the previously built Docker image on my machine, I'll remove it for better visibility. This ensures we only see the newly built image when we build with Buildx. And as you can see, it has been removed successfully, so we're all set to build a proper ECS-compatible image. Let's switch over to VS Code where our project is already open, and navigate to the root directory of our Node.js monolith application. We'll copy and paste the Docker Buildx command to build our application image for the ECS-supported AMD 64 architecture. After the build completes successfully, let's list the Docker images locally to verify the build. As you can see, our new Docker image has been built successfully, ready to be deployed to ECS. We'll push this Docker image to our ECR repository. Once the push is complete, we can list the images in the repository to confirm that everything went smoothly. And there it is, you can see the image we just pushed is now available in ECR, which means our Node.js monolith app is ready to be deployed in ECS. Alright, now it's time to move on to the ECS configuration. Since I've already covered ECS setup in detailed videos before, I won't go too deep into the theory here, but I'll guide you step by step so you can follow along easily. First, navigate to the AWS Management Console. We'll start by setting up the network infrastructure. Go to the VPC console and click on Create VPC. Give your VPC a meaningful name, leave the VPC endpoint set to none, and keep the rest of the configuration at default. Then click Create VPC. Once the VPC is created successfully, make sure to update the public subnets to allow auto-assign public IPs. This ensures that any ECS tasks launched in these subnets can communicate with the internet if needed. Next, head over to the ECS console, click on Clusters, and then select Create Cluster. Give your cluster a proper name and leave the rest of the configuration at default. Click Create to set up your cluster. After your cluster is ready, it's time to create a task definition. Click on Task Definitions and then Create New Task Definition. Give the task definition a meaningful family name, and set the task memory size to 2 GB. Now we'll add our container. Give the container a proper name, and then navigate to the ECR console. Click on your repository, select the latest tag, and copy the image URI. Go back to the ECS console and paste the image URI in the container configuration. Update the container port to 3200, which is the port our Node.js application is running on. Give the port mapping a descriptive name. Under Resource Allocation, set 1 CPU, 1 GB memory hard limit, and 0.5 GB memory soft limit. Leave all other settings at their defaults and click Create to finalize the task definition. Once the task definition is created successfully, click on Create Service to navigate to the service creation page. You can give the service a meaningful name, but for this demo, I'll leave the default name. Next, select the launch type as your compute option. Under Networking, choose the VPC we created earlier and select the 2 public subnets we configured. For security, select Create a new security group. Set the port range to 3200, which is the port our Node.js app is running on, and set the source to anywhere, so the service is accessible from the internet. With these configurations in place, go ahead and create the service. Once the service is up and running, click on it to open the service details. Navigate to the Tasks tab, and then click on the running task to view its details. Finally, grab the public IP address of the running task and open it in your browser. And there you have it. The Docker image we built locally is now successfully deployed within ECS, running smoothly in AWS's managed container environment. This demonstrates the full workflow, from building the image with Docker Buildx to pushing it to ECR, creating a task definition, and finally running it in ECS. Alright, that wraps up this short video on ECS and ECR integration. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts or questions. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll continue exploring more AWS container deployment workflows.